Hey guys, welcome to Planning with Crystal. So today's video is the Feel Good Book Club. This is for December 2020. It's just arrived with me. I'm so excited to open it for you. So if you are new to the Feel Good Book Club and you have no idea what this is, it is basically a book club put together to support the Samaritans charity. So obviously the Samaritans charity really kind of help people in crisis, going through a tough time. They're there at the end of the phone to speak to people and to help people. And this box supports that charity, which I think is amazing. So it is a book club, but you also get some nice other goodies to kind of help you feel good, as the name would suggest. The book tends to be like an uplifting kind of read, so it's a really lovely package to receive each month. And I actually signed up for a whole year. I got a box or two and then just fell in love with it and signed up for a whole year. So price wise, you can pay from about, I think it's $16.49 if you sign up for a yearly subscription, which I did, or I think the most it is about $18.99 if you do like a month by month subscription. They also have an online shop where you can purchase a one-off box. So if you see me unbox a box and you particularly like it, you can go ahead and just buy that box. And all of the profits from this box go straight to the Samaritans charity. So I just think it's great. You're kind of doing your bit for charity while getting something that personally cheers me up every time it arrives. So it's kind of bulging, this box, so I'm extra excited to open it. And it says on the back, outside the wind is howling and the nights are drawing in. The window panes are rattling. Every garment seems too thin. So draw the curtains tightly, find yourself a cosy nook, and nestle in there nightly with a cuppa and a book. The leaves have fled the branches, the birds have travelled south. Your toes are froze, your nose it glows, teeth chatter in your mouth. So leave your wellies on the mat, your coat upon the hook, and roam instead inside your head by picking up a book. The cold won't last forever, the sun will melt the snow, the eggs will hatch, the bees will buzz, the flowers once more will grow. Yes, one day spring will bring back all the joys that winter took, but till then, find your own joy in the pages of a book. With warm and wintry wishes, the Feel Good Book Club team. Another great thing, usually they send it second class, but because we're getting closer to Christmas, they actually upgraded us all to first class shipping. So it arrived super fast in time for Christmas. So I appreciate that they've done that and that they really care enough about their customers that they hope it gets to you in time for Christmas. I thankfully have a bit of time off over Christmas, and I do plan to spend any extra time I've got when I'm not, obviously, I'm at home with my family I live with, but whenever I get some other little bits of time, I'm planning to read because that's what I enjoy. And yeah, so I'm really excited to see what's in this box. So I'd really like to tell you what I thought of the November 2020 book that came in the Feel Good Book Club box for November 2020, and that was The Salt Path by Raina Winn. Now when I received this, I thought, yeah, sounds okay. It's basically about a couple who are going through a really difficult time. Through certain circumstances, they've ended up losing the house that they've had for their kind of almost their whole life together, and that obviously means a great deal to their family. And their house being a farm, it was also their livelihood, so they've essentially lost their income. And her husband finds out that he's got a kind of almost like a terminal degenerative illness. So there's no spoilers there. They pretty much tell you at the start of the book all these things are going on. So I kind of read that and I was like thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure how this is going to be uplifting. It sounds a little depressing almost, everything's going wrong. But I tell you what, this was one of those books that I just struggled to put down, and I was really sad when it ended. And the author, who is the woman in the relationship, has actually written another book, which I will be buying because I was so impressed by this one. It was just fantastic. So essentially, all these terrible things have happened, and you're kind of reading it and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what I would do in this situation. I mean, where do you go from here? Everything's going wrong. What on earth do you do? But instead of kind of sitting around and waiting for a council house and, you know, living this life that they don't want to live, they decide to go and do something they've always wanted to do, and they decide to walk the south-west coast path from Somerset to Dorset via Devon and Cornwall. But because they've not got much money, they're literally packing up a really basic tent, basic sleeping bags. It kind of teaches you a little bit about what's important in life. So they've hardly any money, they're really scraping by, they're sleeping wild wherever they can. So you can imagine there's lots of adventure, there's lots of different things kind of going on in there. But you're there with them and you want them to succeed and do well, and it is so uplifting, and it really makes you think about what's important in life, and you're just rooting for them, and it's just fantastic. And you're like, what's going to happen next? And they encounter people along the way and they learn other people's stories and things, and it's just fantastic. It is probably the best book I've read this year, and I've read I think about 90 books according to my Goodreads thing. It's brilliant. I would 100% suggest you pick up this book. It's fabulous, really, really, really good. So I will actually link this book underneath if you just want to pick up this book, but I would absolutely recommend it. I don't think anybody wouldn't enjoy it because it's just fabulous. So I love it, and I would not necessarily pick this up myself. Like I said, it wasn't really appealing to me, but actually amazing. So with that in mind, I cannot wait to see what's in this December box. So another thing I like about this is the actual kind of cover with your address and stuff on. It's just a sleeve, so you can take that off, and then I like to reuse these boxes. Rather than throwing them out, I use them to post things and what have you. So that's good. And then you can see it's all just wrapped up in tissue paper, and it says nearly there. And there's lots of goodies in here. Oh, it looks like an amazing box. So I'm going to pull things out one by one and talk you through them. Sorry, I'm just seeing what's in here and I'm excited. So every month they put together a little package like this. And I'll just show you what we've got here. So you always get a card that says why we love this book, and this is from somebody on the book club team telling you why they've selected this book. And another thing I really like about the Feel Good Book Club is that they always send you a survey after you've received your box, asking you to kind of give your opinions on what was in that box, what you liked, what you disliked, what you'd like to see again. And they really seem to listen to that feedback. I have already seen evidence of certain things that I've said I do and don't like, and changes that's been made to the box. So they really, like I said, care about the customers, and I like that. So the theme for December is past, present and future. It says our December theme. What do the Christmas holidays mean to you? For many, it's a season of warmth, fun and family get-togethers, but it can also be a painful time, especially if you're feeling alone or are missing people that you love. The COVID-19 pandemic has turned all our lives upside down. But whether you have people in your home or just in your heart this Christmas, we hope this box makes you smile. We are so happy that you are part of our Feel Good Book Club family and want to say a huge thank you for supporting the Samaritans. And then it tells you a little bit about this month's book, which I don't want to read yet because I want to kind of get the book, tell you what the book's about, etc. And then it tells you about the well-being gifts that they've included as well. There is also a Feel Good Book Club on Facebook. I've never actually investigated it, but I really need to. And it's where you can go on there and meet other people in the club and talk about this month's book and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into this month's box. So straight away I can see something that makes me very happy. We have got a hot chocolate shot, it's called. So it's basically one of those hot chocolate sticks, and it's a nice generous serving. And what you do with this is you heat up your milk and then you stir this in and it turns it into a gorgeous hot chocolate. This is actually a vegan milk chocolate shot, and the brand is Gnaw, G-N-A-W. I've heard of this brand but never tried anything by them, so I'm excited to try something. And it's called Vegan Milk, spelt M-Y-L-K, I guess because it's not actual milk. And I like that it's vegan because obviously some people may be vegan or may have a dairy allergy or maybe dairy free or what have you. So it's nice that it's quite inclusive and hopefully most people should be able to enjoy it. It says, take a little moment out today and make a mouth-watering milk hot chocolate, spelt M-Y-L-K. Simply fill a mug with your favourite kind of hot milk and then stir in this delicious vegan gluten-free chocolate. It's great for mochas too. So of course you use whichever your preferred non-dairy milk is, or you can use dairy milk if you have dairy. So it's great, I like that a lot. Next up we have got a calendar. It's funny, I didn't have a wall calendar this year. I haven't actually bought one yet, which is unusual for me. And then I've had a few subscription boxes that have included a calendar, and I think this is about my third one, so I've gone from having none to having like 3, but it looks quite fun. So it says a feel good calendar for 2021, and you basically hang it up like this, and that's your kind of monthly layout. And then the first one, January, the start of the year, is like the first chapter of a new story. Very true. February, keep warm and read a feel-good book. March, it's spring again. The earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. April, spring's the time to turn over a new leaf of a good book. May, the more books that you read, the more words you'll accrue, the more you understand them, the more you'll learn about you. It says the Feel Good Book Club team, with apologies to Dr. Seuss. I thought that sounded familiar. It's a little tweak on a well-known phrase Dr. Seuss says. June, a good story feels like sunshine. July, summer afternoon. To me, those have always been the 2 most beautiful words in the English language. And this is certainly how I tend to spend my summer, or I certainly did in 2020. When I wasn't working, I would be in the garden, on my sun lounger in the sun, reading a good book. Really enjoyed that. August, facing the sun, nose in a book, life is good. That's, yeah, pretty much my summer. September, every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. That's by Emily Bronte. October, you can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me. Yep, that's certainly me too. November, winter is for hiding under blankets with illuminating books. December, kindness is like snow, it beautifies everything it covers. And it says on the back, we hope you can fill this calendar with happy moments, milestones and memories that make this a year to savour. Here's to a feel-good 2021. It's got to be better than 2020, hasn't it? So it says, after the year we've had, we're wishing for a better 2021. We hope this feel-good book club calendar will be a practical and uplifting presence for you throughout the year. There is a card that says, thank you for supporting Samaritans this Christmas. Every call to help Samaritans responds to this Christmas could be the one that saves or changes someone's life, and that all begins with you. By supporting the Feel Good Book Club this Christmas, you're helping to support Samaritans and make sure we are here to listen when someone needs us most. Your support can help change another person's story. And of course, with it being Christmas, the calls to the Samaritans tend to increase because it's a really difficult time for some people. And there's actually a little story on the back of here. It says Jason's story. And this is where he's obviously called the Samaritans, and it's made a difference to his life. So that's nice. It kind of reminds you of what you're supporting. Personally, I think the box is just worth it anyway for the contents, and it definitely makes me feel good. But it is really nice as well to kind of understand what your money is doing for the charity and for other people. So that's really lovely. Then we have got a gratitude book. So it says gratitude and other things, the Feel Good Book Club. Now I'm a massive stationery addict, so this appeals to me. If I was picking things for this box, this is the sort of thing I would be picking. So I said gratitude. It is actually blank pages throughout. So you could actually use this however you wanted. You can use it as a notebook. You could use it as a gratitude journal, as I suggested. It's got a lovely little kind of ribbon that goes in it to kind of keep your place. And it even has an elastic to kind of hold it together, which is great if you want to put any other bits of paper in, or you just want to kind of keep it closed. But that is a lovely addition. You could also use it as a kind of book journal log if you wanted to kind of keep a record of books and things like that. That's great. I really like that. It's definitely something that I would enjoy. Definitely something I know I'll enjoy. And finally, and probably most exciting of all, the book. So this is all about us, and it says Falling in Love Was Just a Start, and this is by Tom Ellen. And inside we've got a rather lovely bookmark, and on the back it says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called The Present. And these are like little lifts. And this was something I said in one of the surveys. They were including these sort of little square cards with little nice comments on and little uplifting phrases. And I kind of didn't know what to do with them. And I said, I'd rather have them on a bookmark, and then I can just use them as a bookmark. Because obviously reading, you get through a lot of bookmarks, and that's what they've done. So I do like to think they've kind of listened to that feedback and, Yeah, I like that. There's also a note from the author, which makes it feel kind of extra special because you get to hear a little bit about why they've written the book and what they were thinking about when they wrote the book, so that's great. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm also going to read what the book's about. We'll read what the book's about first. So it says, if you could turn back the clock, would you choose a different life? Ben's always loved the month of December, but this year, with his relationship with Daphne on the rocks, it's missing its usual magic. And then his old friend Alice gets back in touch. Ben's always thought of Alice as the one that got away, and he can't help but wonder, what if he'd done things differently all those years ago? He never imagines he might get to find out. But when a stranger sells Ben a mysterious watch one cold winter's night, he's astonished to wake up the next morning on the 5th of December 2005, the day he first kissed Daphne, leaving Alice behind. Now Ben must make the biggest decision of his life all over again, but this time round will he finally find the courage to follow his heart? And then the card from the author says, everyone has experienced a what-if moment, where they wonder how their life might have turned out if they'd done something differently in their past. This was the initial inspiration for All About Us. If you were to magically transported back 15 years, what would you change and why? The novel is a romantic comedy at heart, so it contains plenty of love and laughs, but it also touches on deeper issues such as grief, loneliness, mental health, and toxic masculinity, not to mention a healthy dose of magic, fantasy, and time-travelling watches. It's a book about regret, second chances, and realising what's truly important in life. I hope it brings you a bit of festive sparkle this year. So, that sounds good. And then Why We Love This Book by the book club team. This is Neil from the book club team. This story was a lovely surprise. I loved the clever twist on a classic tale and found it a really easy but captivating read. I especially liked the way it took Ben's perspective, touching on lots of important issues like men being able to talk to each other about their mental health along the way. It's a very well crafted story and I was rooting for the main characters by the end. And I like how it literally looks like he's handwritten it. Obviously it's been reprinted, but nice touch. And here it says, when we first picked up All About Us by Tom Ellen, we honestly weren't sure this was the right book for our club. But then when we read the first few pages, and then the first chapter, and suddenly we were hooked. It's a book that's unashamedly romantic, but never at the expense of a brilliantly crafted story. It's a modern twist on a very familiar Christmas tale, and well, we absolutely loved it. At this time of year, and after this kind of year, we thought it was the perfect feel-good story, and it definitely sounds like it is. So I am seriously excited to read this book, and I will feed back to you next month when I unbox the January box, January 2021, scary. I will let you know what I think of this book. So to recap the December 2020 Feel Good Book Club box, we've got All About Us by Tom Ellen and the bookmark, the note from the author and the note from the book club team. We've got our kind of notebook that says gratitude and other good things. We've got our 2021 kind of uplifting wall calendar, and we have got our hot chocolate, as well as the little card that obviously tells us about this month's theme, past, present and future, and the thank you from the Samaritans along with Jason's story there on the other side. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this unboxing. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm producing. I'd like it if you'd subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when my next video goes live, and that way you'll get to see when I post my January 2021 unboxing of the Feel Good Book Club, and then I can report back to you on this month's read and let you know what I thought of this book. Let me know in the comments what you think of this month's box, and if you're a subscriber or if you're thinking of subscribing, as usual, I'll put all the info under the video if you do want to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.